Hello, how are you guys doing? Sorry we missed last week. We had a good show for you all, but some things came up and we weren't able to put out that broadcast. But here we are now. We are here with you now. And today we wanted to talk about a few different things. We had a couple articles that we wanted to go over with you all, and then I guess some learning, some learning things that we will also go over to y'all. But like we always like to start the show off with, or sometimes, be stacking, be stacking, be stacking, right? You want to stack your satoshis, and you want to be stacking your ounces. So we wanted to come through today. We came through today with these are. So we got two 10-ounce silver ounces. You hear that? You hear that ounce? You hear that silver hitting the silver? So we got that, and we got also another nice one, a nice 10-ounce plate from Atmex. So you guys always be stacking, always be stacking. So where did you want to start off at?
I don't have any updates for them.
Okay, none. Okay, all right. Well, I'll go with my menial updates. We'll start with this first update that I came across last week.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yes,
Chapel
yes, it
House
did.
Love.
Yes,
And I
it
got your
did.
name right this time, right? Like I ain't mess it up.
So,
Reek W. Hi, Reek W. Thank you so much for joining.
so what we have here, and you guys may have come across this in your readings. China signs yuan-denominated loans for Belt Road Initiative, accelerate de-dollarization. That's that is very important. That's very important to talk about as far as the de-dollarization that China is consistently putting forward.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I'm sorry, I can't read the smaller reading. But anyway, so with the BRICS nations, their goal is to move away from uh, dollarization. So here, what you can do is now you can take loans out backed by the yuan, right? And this is through China for the Belt Road Initiative. I'm sure you are familiar with the Belt Road Initiative, but if not, we can go over it real quick just to say what it is. And
I can do it.
oh, I have to click to the next one. Yeah, just to say what it is and just a little definition of it, and just go over so that we could all be on the same page.
Do you have it on another?
But what it is that and that's a bad sign for the dollar and all these kind of Western nations who are still tethered to the dollar. And so you want to keep your eye out on these types of moves that you will see happening globally, and that I mean, it just becomes it's telling now. It's telling that you can see how people. Oh no, don't throw them out. It's telling how people you can see what is going on from the bigger players. Just let me get back to the yeah.
That
No.
it wasn't on those other pages.
So, but other than that, that's one of the things we came across last week. As far as some of the things we came across this week, we're going to go over some 8 steps of things that we could do to be better or to help ourselves.
So it looks like that the Belt and Road Initiative, which I'm not familiar with, known within China as the One Belt Road. It's a global infrastructure development strategy adopted by the Chinese government in 2013 to invest in more than 150 countries. So that's bad, right? If these loans are backed by the yuan, these were typically settled in US dollars, which is going to force even more inflation.
Yep.
Hi, KW1. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, Rick W.
K-Dub.
Thank you for joining. Which is going to, it's already hyperinflation, right? That's the baby point. He's building a domino tower. Y'all ignore the noise in the background. But it's over 150 countries, right? So you can see when they talk about the acceleration of de-dollarization, what is actually happening. Here it says China Policy Bank signed a series of yuan-denominated loans Wednesday. So that would have been, what's today, 27th?
Yeah.
That would have been about the 25th. at the latest Belt and Road Initiative Forum in Beijing. These yuan-based loans at the meeting included contracts signed by China Development Bank with Malaysia, Egypt, BBB, blah, 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 BBVA Peru, because we have a BBVA in Mexico,
Yeah, we do.
according to Reuters.
Wonderful bank.
Egypt issued $479 million, so $500 million, worth of panda bonds for the first time to help pay back its foreign loans. Beijing also set aside an additional 80 billion with a B yuan, which is the equivalent to about 10.94 billion US, for its Silk Road Fund promoting Belt Road Initiative projects. These are state-backed lenders that Beijing uses to advance its long-term goals. Again, all of these people are not using the dollar, so just understand, because they gave us here, so that's 10.4 billion, like away from the US market, right? That is not flowing into our economy. It's another, I think I said 479 million. So 479 million US dollars, again, not flowing into our market. And considering the amount of money, hi Colonel, considering the amount of money, every time somebody needs money, what does the US do?
Give them money.
They pull out a magic check out their pocket and give them money. So money is leaving our economy, but nothing is coming back in at this point. Not that nothing's coming back in, that's inaccurate. The money, that the income that the United States was used to is not coming back in, right? We're seeing billions and billions and billions of dollars that are being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
Are you talking about a shortfall?
detracted, that's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say, detracted from the US economy. Or subtracted is really what I should say. China's goal is to, in no uncertain terms, to dethrone the dollar. And that is their policy priority. And then they give you some data from Swift International Banking. It said the yuan accounted for a record 3.71% of international payments. While that number doesn't seem high, little by little, little by little, little by little, that number's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're already talking about 10, at least $11 billion just in this article that is not going to flow into the United States economy, right? To settle those payments, to do whatever it is that they would have normally done. Here, I'm not gonna.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so
That's the end of that article, but.
yeah, so that is
And then you also had this one, I didn't know.
that's definitely interesting information. But like one of the main things you want to take out of there, she said that is their main. What is that?
That's their main policy. That's their
main
goal.
policy.
That's their agenda. That's their objective.
Yeah, they coming
right? So they're telling you in no uncertain terms that you need to do this.
for you. Yeah, they telling you that they're
that
coming for you.
they really want to usurp the throne of the United States, right? So
yeah, and that's another thing that we always have to keep in mind, that they're coming for the the throne of the government. We're just what are we? We're just the pawns in the game. So we have to always make sure we position ourselves correctly, like we said. Keep stacking those ounces. Whatever else you got going on, keep doing that. Keep grinding. Keep your head down and just keep pushing forward. It's very hard out here on a day-to-day grind, and we know it. We understand it's hard for most people, but it's kind of, if you could just be oh, thank you. If you could be just diligent, just stay forward, right? Steadfast forward in your movement, and you will get a lot further than you think you would. You got time. Take it slow time, low time preference.
It's a low time preference, but we don't have as much time as we think. So that's one of the things we do want to hammer home, right? So right now, it's important that you are spending on necessities. I know Christmas is coming up. This is not the Christmas season to be going all out. It just isn't, right? Let's be honest. 2, that is a culture that the Western countries have established in order to get people to consume and excessively spend. This is not that Christmas season, right? You don't need to have a tree with 200 gifts under it. That's out. right? You do what you need to do. Start preparing your family members, right? Each person is probably going to get just one thing that they absolutely need. This is not the Christmas to excessively spend. This is the Christmas where, for those of you who get Christmas bonuses, Christmas salaries, whatever your organization, I'm sorry, my shoe keeps slipping off. Whatever setup they have in order for you to get additional funds for Christmas, find somewhere to put that and not in other people's pockets, right?
Right.
So we need to kind of come away from what I like to call bad habits, but come away from habits. Don't follow the world doing what they're doing, right? Don't follow them. Forget those commercials. You see those Lexus cars with the ribbon on it. This ain't the Christmas to buy a brand new Lexus, okay? It's not the Christmas to do it. With the conflict, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, we're still involved in the Ukrainian conflict. Money is constantly leaving the U.S. economy to take care of other people and not the U.S. citizens. Inflation is going to continue to run, right? We're going to get to a point that in the new year, for those who excessively spent for Christmas, you're going to wish you had some of that money back, because you should already start seeing issues in the supply chain as far as groceries, right? We told you guys 2 weeks ago, the United States government is paying farmers in the U.S. to not plant crops, to not grow crops, to get rid of excessive crops. Not even to run the price up, but to disrupt the supply chain.
Yes.
We told you that the Ohio River, the Mississippi River, they're drying up. So the cargo ships that are used, they need a certain amount of water. They're getting, they have a word for it. They're like dredging the water, right? They're having trouble navigating the water, and a lot of them are not even going to send out their cargo ships because they know they're going to get stuck, right? And there's other large bodies of water worldwide that are also having trouble due to drought. This is the biblical store up as much as possible, right? So that when the famine or the scarcity actually hits, you will be okay, right? Forget this Christmas, right? Y'all, we'll celebrate a great Christmas another time. This is not the season for excessive spending. This is the season to start looking at budgets, recounting, looking at things that you can kind of cut from the budget that aren't necessities. This is the time where if you are going to get extra stuff, you are getting extra stuff for your own storehouse.
Yes.
Non-perishable items, matches, lighters,
all that.
water. If
I'm
you have bug out bags, if you have extra money, buy the bug out bags. You can buy the certain sites sell those things, sell those.
The
what do you
larger
call them?
ones. You talking about the larger ones, right?
Yeah, where it's like 3 months supply
Yeah.
of non-perishable food that comes in a pack. They're kind of like, all of my military people, they're like MREs, right? Which are, for the civilians, they're called meals ready to eat. You just kind of add water, add hot water, just follow the instructions. And the meals are actually pretty decent, right? You talking to two United States Air Force
They
prior
pretty-
service members. They're really good now, right? They come with hot sauce. You get little packets of like Crystal Light and stuff in them. You can put in a
they're
water
fine.
bottle.
They are.
But you're not buying United States military grade meals ready to eat. They are like MREs. I want to make that clear. So sometimes they can go anywhere from $200 to $400, depending on how many months supply of food for how many members of your family. I think typically it's for a 4-member family, right?
Okay.
But
There you go.
with that being said, I'm not.
Well, I
trying
was
to-
going to read into if anybody had to say if we had to pop out and holler at the people.
So we said, what's up to the Colonel? Hi, CKC. Thank you so much for joining. John Walter said, blessings, everyone. Blessings to you, John. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, fiat mentality is spend, spend, spend. But there are certain seasons, right, that are what we call abundant seasons, right, where you can spend, 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 and you don't really feel the consequences of it, right? You have an abundance. You want to bless people who bless you. This ain't that season. This is the season of what I like to call preparing for the famine, right? They've been telling us, they told us in 2022, that's why we did that show 2 weeks ago, that we were going to be experiencing a famine of over 745 million people worldwide, and it hadn't really hit yet. Meaning they haven't executed or initiated the things in order to get that jumping, because that's what they're trying to do. A way to control the masses is to control their food supply. So when I was talking to you guys about the World Economic Forum and the Sustainable Development Goals, they've been really, really quiet because they're behind the mark, right? So in order to solve the poverty problem, in order to solve the famine problem, they have to have the solution in place, and I don't think those solutions are in place yet. So they haven't initiated the actual famine. They haven't initiated the actual controls that are going to create great poverty in places that have never experienced poverty like that before, namely Western countries like England and the United States and other parts of Europe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When I go down my Facebook timeline, y'all look like y'all having a ball. Y'all living y'all best lives. People are traveling, eating, shopping, buying, and I'm like, my timeline does not match the reality of my watch list, which are those articles that Simon and I bring to you. And that's a huge problem. That means there's a whole bunch of people who are sleeping and don't realize that it is about to hit the fan.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm almost done, right?
Yes,
John
it
Walter,
is.
and then I'm gonna give it back to hubby.
Okay.
Double dare you. Hey, crypto fam. Christmas, Missmas. You're right. This is Missmas, right? This year. The Chief LLC. Is this our chief? Is that Grizz? If that's Grizz, type in the it says the Chief LLC. I just want to know if this is our chief, Grizz.
Yeah, I can't see.
Shout out to the chief. If it's our chief, he's a very dear friend. He's a family member as far as we're concerned. Double dare you. What are you sipping on back there?
I have water.
Not water.
Avion.
And fuego. It's fire water. The chief said MRE, I'm giving my children gifts in Bitcoin. Yes. So if you are going to celebrate Christmas this year, absolutely be more strategic in your gift giving. Bitcoin, silver, right? Things that people actually need. Even, and I know, don't listen to those women in the women's-sphere or whatever they call it. Don't listen to them when they say, don't pay none of my bills for Christmas. If you can bless somebody and pay a bill so that they can have a little extra money so that they can store up their stock house, go on and do that, right? And if you feel like the person's gonna be ungrateful, pass them over like the Passover, okay? PFC Wells, hey, it's nice to see you. PFC Wells has been with us for a long time. Double dare you. Yes, this is the info we need to hear. I have 3 outfits, non-perishables, cold wallets. Which wallets do you recommend? I have hubby go over that as soon as he's done giving you his updates. Oh, the one and only chief. Okay, you are our chief. I just want to make sure, right, because we had people do pop in here with similar names. I just want to make sure. And the chief is big, big, big on XRP. There was a huge breakthrough in that case. So definitely, you should have been stocking up on it, but definitely stock up on it now because it should go up. But let me let hubby go on your updates. I'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah, updates. The updates are pretty light, y'all. It's not much going on. I couldn't find much in the news cycle, but I did come across this article that I keep coming across again and again and again and again. So I'm going to go over it, and not to belabor the point, and I'm sorry if you guys have heard this before, but I just reiterate it because it seems to still be problematic out here in the community. This is an article that comes through from Yahoo Finance. And so Yahoo Finance has an article. It is named 8 Ways People Become Poor While Earning a High-End Salary. Right? So, high-end salary, that's what everybody talks about out here, high-end, $100,000 and whatnot. So let's get into it, man. So the average annual salary of a United States citizen is about $56,220. So that's the average salary across all boards, genders and all alike. That's the average salary. So, when it's time to talk about people who are high-end earners, which they talk about being up in the $100,000 class, this is what we're going to see, right? So a lot of times we're here what they're reading. I mean, I'm not going to read this whole article, but what I will say is Over 50% of people earning over $100,000 per year are still living paycheck to paycheck, right? We did a show about this a few months ago that talks about it's the happiness index, and it gives you like a grading in between how much money you make and how happy you are, and then there's like a sweet spot, a happy zone. So we'll go over these 8 points, and there are 8 points that we all probably know, but sometimes we still fall. We fall because it's hard to stay disciplined with some of these things. So, all right, let's go. Let's get to it. Let's go to number one. So the number one reason, I'm sorry, let me scroll, y'all. Where we at? Right here. Right here. All right. So what they say, and this may be talking maybe more to young people, but you never know. It goes out there. Over reliance on credit cards. Over reliance on credit cards can be a big killer. And the way they write this story is they're writing it to people who have been granted new credit and relying on the credit, but then getting very behind, getting bad interest rates and things of that matter. And so that will start eating into your high income that you earn. And so you have to just be aware of that. Be aware. Everybody wants to have credit for whatever reason they need to have it, but understand it can beat you up a little bit. So the number two reason they're talking about is succumbing to your lifestyle. And so, that's one of the things where, you start making money, extra money, you start living a different type of lifestyle, and you succumb to the lifestyle. It's kind of like a keeping up with the Joneses. I should be eating here. I should be driving a certain type of car. I should have, a certain type of handbag or, whatever, trying to keep up with everybody. And a lot of that stuff will suck. It will suck you dry. The eating part is a killer because, you start to go out and eat every night, every night, every night. And, that adds on, that little bit adds on over a whole year when you could be at home, cooking your own meal. So, that lifestyle, giving into your lifestyle. So that's a big one. It depends. This could be age appropriate. Sometimes that's more appropriate with younger people. But, hey, sometimes when people make it and they be like, oh, I gotta keep up with this person and that person and be like them. So you gotta just stay steadfast. And if you just want to drive a beat up pickup truck because that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do that. And then that's it. That's it. Don't worry about it. Let's go to the third one, y'all. What they got to say about this third one here? The third one I can't read. Oh, not making tax efficient money moves. Oh, that is a big killer. That is a big, big killer. Not making tax. And see, what I would like to do is I would like to get Erin in on this one because she knows a lot about this, and maybe I can see she can deep dive on it. Not making. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a killer.
Not making tax efficient money moves. Okay, so with a lot of people, like the chief is in the chat right now, and you notice that his handle is the chief LLC. So the chief understands that he has to look into certain things in order to protect his money. When you have, there's a difference between being a W-2 earner and a 1099. I'm not going to go into it because we just don't have time. It is the Sabbath, and we do need to be off of here before the hour hits, so the family can pray. But you want to look at LLCs, you want to look at trusts, right? Even sole props have utility, right? But you want to do your research on what works best for you. So we have a sole prop, a LLC, and a trust, right? Real quick, your sole prop allows you to write off a lot of items and things that you use for your business for your business. But you also have to make sure that it's more than at least $14,000, right? And a lot of times you'll be shocked at how much you do actually spend. If you do have businesses and you're putting into your business, you're investing in your businesses, it is a lot that you put into it. But right now, they just raised the write-off, the deductions, thank you. They just raised the deductions, and it's like over 13,000. So you need to be writing off more than 14,000 for that to even be, you need to know how to do a Schedule C, right? So these are the things you want to look into so that you are not putting your money into what I call a bag full of holes, right? Bitcoin, right? They are absolutely, the IRS is absolutely categorizing Bitcoin as real estate in cyberspace. They are treating it as such. So you do the same thing, right? Be on top of the laws and everything for those of us who have Bitcoin. I know you guys are on top of that, so I don't have to actually, I don't have to go into that. But you want to find the most, I do not anytime recommend or suggest cheating the IRS. They will figure it out. And while they won't go after the Jeff Bezos, they won't go after the Warren Buffetts, they will come after somebody who only made $32,000 a year. Okay? And they absolutely will put liens on paychecks. They will come after you. So do not cheat them. What you want to do is you want to utilize the business loopholes that Donald Trump created. Don't matter how you feel about him, that's a man who knows business. Use the loopholes that he created for you. Understand who you are as head of household for the single moms.
Yeah.
Right? Understand who you are if you're joint filing single. I'm sorry, if you're married filing single. Right? If you are married filing joint, understand what laws work for you. Bookkeeping is everything. It is tedious, but you're gonna get your money's worth. You put the work in, you're gonna get the benefit from it. So keeping receipts, keeping your ledgers, printing your ledgers off at the end of the year and going over it with the highlighter. Put these things into action so that your money can work for you instead of you working for your money.
That's some new updates.
I know I stepped away, so real quick.
They switched our chat reply. I don't know, it got weird and it started brand new.
PFC Wells said, I made this joke the other day that Ferrari is expecting Bitcoin because they betting on people not used to having money blowing it when they get it. That's funny. Oh, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but recently Chase changed their some of their services. You cannot use Chase in order to buy crypto. I think you can still use it for Cash App, but there's some regulations on, they said there's just too many scams, and we have Chase. I didn't see that with Wells Fargo, but I probably should check. That just reminded me on PFC Wells. So look into that. If that is the bank you guys were using in order to purchase your crypto, you may have to probably go to a credit union or something like that in order to purchase your crypto, because Chase is shutting that down. Is Cheesecake Factory an acceptable first date? Real quick, we're not going to get into the manosphere. My husband took me to Chili's on a long drive, right? All of those things on the list. So he took me for a long drive to a very nice Chili's in a very nice plaza, and we've been married for 23 years. Stop listening to these single women. Okay, next. Chief said, trust, absolutely. Do you actually trade, scalp, or invest? Asking because I'm leaving the States before 2024, only with crypto. Hubby used to trade. He doesn't trade anymore.
Yeah, only invest now as we get older.
Only because we homeschool our kids. We have our own business. I do have a position that requires a lot of obligation in addition to my family. So we just don't have time to trade, but we invest. You guys are laughing, not sure what we said that was funny, but he said if I use my real YouTube profile, it'd be a cause for concern. Now I want to know what it is. Guard your crypto assets with cold storage. Yes, take your money off the exchanges. Take your money off the exchanges, okay? You see the exchanges, when they go down, they take your money with them. Yep. They don't pay nobody out. right?
not us.
Take your money off the exchanges. Y'all see that Sam Bankman-Fried guy? They giving him all types of accommodations. I said, boy, this is the, excuse my language if anybody on here is Caucasian, it's the whitest thing I've ever seen. You stole all that money and they just letting you do whatever. They would put us under the jail if we did something like that. But take your money off the exchanges, because a lot of people lost a lot of money off of that FTX thing, in addition to, was it BlockFi?
BlockFi, yes, indeed,
BlockFi, all they stuff frozen.
and Celsius.
Celsius, in addition to rug pulls, right? Because money is on the exchanges. Definitely use your cold storages, your nano, what are they called again?
Nano Ledger.
Nano
X.
ledgers, nano ledgers. Yep, Chief is big on. I think he got like 3 nano ledgers.
Yep.
The Chase thing is starting in the United States, yes, because I saw it come across my thing. Credit unions are a little better than regular banks for now, but if the scams keep running, all of the tier 1 banks and the tier 2s and the tier 3s are going to get on the same page. Just because when people lose their money from tier 1s, tier 1 banks promise to give you the money back and then they investigate. They probably had to shovel out too much money, right? I ain't caping for the banks, but I can understand where they're coming from with the amount of scams and MLM crap and all of that other foolishness that is corrupting the space that we're in. And it's on purpose, let's be honest, right? It's on purpose. It's people trying to exploit people who are looking for the arbitrage and opportunities in investing and trading and all of this stuff that we as the people do, so that we don't have to trade all of our time and all of our labor for a few pennies. Okay, baby, you're on.
Was that all of them?
That was all of them.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next one, which is, I mean, man, it speaks for itself, but apparently we need to say it again. The lack of financial discipline. So discipline, discipline is a thing that carries across all facets of your life, right? So you're not going to be disciplined in one thing and then undisciplined and messy over here.
Typically, you're not. Typically, you're not.
Typically. But so discipline here. So this is something that you're talking about, financial discipline. So for all my former military members, we have discipline. It was ingrained in us at a very young age. We have discipline. We're going to get up at a certain time. We're going to eat at a certain time. We're going to do things. We're going to be on time. We're going to be timely. We're not going to be late and all this stuff. So, and then that goes across your life. So it stops right here at your financial discipline. And how important is it to be financially disciplined, Aaron?
It's so important, right? Because you have to understand that financial obligations are at least 98% of a typical person's lifestyle, right? You have to pay some type of shelter. You have to pay for some type of food. You have to pay for clothing. If you have dependents, you have people to take care of. Financial discipline is it has to be at least 98% of your lifestyle. It is something you're involved in every single day until you are no longer here in this realm.
Mm-hmm. You said it. You had to read those.
I'm asking. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, I got it.
Okay. KW1 said USAA is crypto friendly. At least they said they were. I would like to think they're still doing that too. We would have gotten, I didn't see it. I saw it on Chase. So we'll double check the USAA. I didn't see anything like that with them, but we don't use that account to buy crypto either. So I would have to look at that. PFC Wells said, expect more cases to come with people being charged as being unlicensed money transmitter. Oh, okay, for exchanging crypto. 4K, tell me if that is a typo. Next cut on capital flight controls. The Colonel says Citibank told me the same. Okay, well, Citibank and Chase are, I want to say like they're a family of banks. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, not just that they're tier 1, but Citibank and Chase Bank are like brother-sister banks. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if one is a subsidy of the other, but they are absolutely affiliates. It's not like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. Citibank and Chase are like this.
Definitely, sure.
They will have bank bail insurance, meaning your dollar will be eaten up by the bank if it goes under. Yep. Then they turned around 2 weeks ago and allowed the complete opposite. Tell me more, Colonel. On FTX, they got me for three Ethereum. Wow. BlockFi broke our heart too. You are not alone, double dare you.
Yep.
We got most of it off, but we weren't even thinking about it. We left some of it on there, and we were like, what is there, like 5 on there?
Yeah, so they got us. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they
hell.
broke our heart too.
It's hell.
We almost did a whole show on it. I said, boy, am I glad we didn't do that show.
It's hell over there.
Chief said I would only trade once I totally understand the market. Yes, right? So a lot of people think, a lot of trading platforms and algorithms are designed now to be these casino-like experiences. And I'm using my words very carefully, but I'm also being very precise in my language. When you especially like the MLM trading platforms, and the market is oversaturated with them. You'll look at the UI, and the UI will basically have a like buy now button, you know what I mean, or trade now or execute now, and it's very casino-like. Okay, and they tell you, oh, if you do this trade within 3 to 5 minutes, you either win the trade or you lose the trade. A lot of casino lingo, a lot of casino language, okay? The trading that Simon used to do, it took him how many years?
At least 7.
He said 7 or 8 years, he studied the market. He understood the flags. He understood the bear markets, the bull markets. He understood resistance. He understood the 200-day moving average, right? I'm just giving you some of, like, I can read this without doing this casino style. If I had to do this analog, I would be allowed to execute a trade, okay? 2, one of the main things Simon taught me when he was trying to teach me how to trade, and I wasn't trying to learn how to trade, I just wanted to learn how he was doing what he was doing and just gain an understanding of the market in general, was these companies, very wealthy people, are using university-level physicists, PhD-level physicists, to create bots to trade against you.
So yeah, that's an interesting thing that she brought up, and that's something I came across, and I'm sure you guys are all familiar with
Robinhood?
well, not Robin Hood, but the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? If you guys are familiar with him, and so I was on a video watching his, and he said, this is what he said. He said that Wall Street is coming to get physicists trained at MIT, Oxford, and Harvard, and they're taking these highly trained physicists and taking them to Wall Street to build bots.
Who trade for them. And a lot of time when the bot's trading, use the phrasing.
What's that?
The bot would forerun. They would forerun the trade, like it would be executing, but that bot got there first.
Oh yeah, the bots are front running trades.
Front-running the trades.
Trades for sure, and they're at a high level place where they got a black box on the trading floor. We're trying to trade and execute. At
using
our
Wi-Fi.
And they got quantum physicists on Wall Street with a black box on the trading floor. How can we compete against that? For the people who are day trading, you can't compete against that, y'all.
PFC Wells said in the next 15 months, more exchanges and banks will be closing. Okay, so don't panic about the banks closing. I had mentioned this a few shows ago, so I'm going to kind of put the pieces together. What the banks are doing is they're surveying what's called consolidation. So it looks like a whole bunch of Chases are closing, a whole bunch of Wells Fargos are closing. Remember, they are planning for the smart city, right? So there needs to be a bank outside of every 15-minute interval of where these smart cities are going to be designated.
Yep.
And before they can kind of like get that going, they have to, what they call consolidate, close these branches down.
Yes.
And as they're planning, you got to remember, they're always 5, 10, 20, and 100 years ahead of us in planning, right? So don't panic about that, right? All of those branches are going to pop back up because there needs to be a branch every 15 minutes away from these smart cities, and there need to be multiple branches for what I call the supermaxes.
Okay, and I want to get this last one.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
For my high earners, we got a hard close here in about 5 minutes. Not using corporate benefits properly. So you people out here who have corporate jobs, they give you benefits. Are you using them properly? Because I've been around a long time. People are real lazy about their corporate benefits. They're not really being strategic about how much I'm putting in, how much I'm taking on my check, how much am I putting towards this or that. If you have corporate jobs as high earners, what would you say to that as someone with
Definitely always go through your open enrollment the way you should, right? Meaning every single year make changes. Make changes to your elections. Don't just be like, oh, there's no changes, I'm gonna keep the same. Listen to how your medical benefits are being parsed out. Like this year, our medical benefits went up 12%. That don't help us. Right, so I scrapped that. I'm gonna take all of that money that would have went to those premiums. We're gonna put it in silver. We'll pay for it out of pocket because it'll be cheaper than what they're trying to do. Right, we don't have so many chronic illnesses that I can't just buy my seizure medication over the counter. Look at what you're doing in your 401k. Who are they utilizing for your 401k, and what do those returns look like? Right. For your HSA benefits, you want to look at the money that you're, how you can maximize putting your money in there. If you do have chronic illnesses where you're like, we are spending a crap ton of money in pharmaceutical products. So you want to maximize and look at that, look at the markets. Look if you need supplemental insurance. If you say, you know what, I pay into this thing and I don't even use it, then get rid of it and put that money that you were using for that into something that's for you. So this is what we talk about being strategic, but you can't be on what I like to call like autopilot, right? You have to look at these things, and sometimes they can be tricky. Get on that phone and ask as many questions as you need to ask. Even if you talk to me like I'm a third grader, explain it to me like I'm 8 years old. That way you can make the best, because they're taking all that money out your check. That's less money coming home to do other things. So you do want to look at your corporate benefits. If you work in an industry where the competitor, and you don't have a non-compete, right? Please do not violate your non-competes. If your competitor has something a little bit better, let them poach you. Right? Don't get so, well, I'm comfortable here because I get a lot of time off and I got some tenure. If it means you can save a little bit of money and you do have to work an extra hour or extra few hours, then it may be worth it. Now, if your sanity says it's not, then don't. Okay? There are a lot of questions in the chat that we're probably going to have to do a whole nother show on. The Colonel said they blocked his Cash App during the summer. Oh, no, Cash App went down. I don't think they blocked it. Cash App had some issues this summer. We were there for that. We still buy our Bitcoin right now because we have Chase. I would have to look into USA. We've just been doing it off of our Cash App. We are real heavy in precious metals. It's very, very heavy in precious metals. Both paper and physical.
Physical, yes.
But we are gonna look into like Coinbase. We stopped dealing with them 2 years ago.
A few years ago.
Is there anywhere else you get your Bitcoin from?
Oh, a lot of different places, like little different exchanges.
Just give them one.
I was usually getting some from Uphold, but
Okay, Uphold is one we been getting it from. Because some people are asking other exchanges.
But don't keep it on Uphold.
Don't keep it on Uphold. No, definitely get a Nano Ledger. You should be able to get Nano Ledgers. The chief in the chats is the expert for the Nano Ledgers. We are trying to get him on the show so he can talk to y'all about XRP and the hardware. That is his expertise. Yep, he was talking about the AI bots trading using quantum computers. Absolutely. They got all them M1 processors and stuff. And you using your iPhone. I'm not panicking, but most folks will when the domino. Yeah, so the idea at PFC Wells is they also want to control you by using fear. That's why we're saying little by little, we take this journey together. If we stay ready, we don't have to get ready, so you don't panic as much, right? But the number one thing we want y'all to take away from this, and it is the Shabbat for us, so we are going to have to log off here in a little bit so that our family can pray together, is this is not the Christmas for excessive spending. Halloween, if you have small children and you can talk to them in ways of doing something different and not buying those expensive costumes they only gonna wear once a year and not wear again next year because they want to be somebody different. You want to talk to your family and get them disciplined in making changes for lean times. Okay, do not drop your iPads, right? Don't drop your phones. Get those protective covers on them. Try to get things in place so that you're not spending any unnecessary money.
No, these are great Christmas gifts. These make for
They
great
are.
Christmas gifts. You know, this is a nice 10-ounce Atmex silver bar with a low premium. It made for great gifts.
The chief is talking about I Trust Capital for your 401k. You can call those people and talk to them and ask them as many questions as you need to. I've been paying $147 every 2 weeks. Unbelievable. Well, ours went up 12%, and we are a family of 6. So I don't even want to tell y'all the almost $700 a month
Okay.
that is going to an insurance company.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. They're going to get $0.00 moving forward. But we are going to live as though that money is still coming out. Yes, the chief said he's going to come on, hopefully, the next show, right? Y'all put the pressure on the chief. Tell him y'all want to see him next show. Yes, Netflix, Audibles, Disney Plus, what else? HBO Max, Hulu, Peacock. You really only need one of those, right? Pick one or two and get rid of the other one. I've already showed y'all almost over $100 in streaming services, and many of you guys have cable and Roku and all of these other things. We don't need the consumption. Okay, it's the Shabbat. You guys, we love you guys. Shabbat shalom. We're gonna get Chief on the next show, we promise. And he's gonna do his thing, and y'all are gonna be amazed because we learned so much from the Chief, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, Citibank, yep, they're not dealing with crypto because they work with Chase. They're an affiliate of Chase, I believe. So Miles Franklin, gold and silver. Atmex, gold and silver.
Definitely.
There's one more.
I never do. I don't deal with them, so I don't really.
Oh, okay, then we
Yeah, so,
won't. We ain't
yeah.
even gonna shout them out. But we love y'all so much. Shabbat shalom. We hope you have a great weekend. Get your non-perishables, get your water, get your silver, get your gold, get your Bitcoin, get whatever you need, and don't spend excessive money, but also preach to your family members, and I'm using the word preach on purpose. Talk to them, really walk them through. This is not the time. I don't like the way my Facebook timeline looks. It actually disturbs me. And the eating out, like that list is, these are the places you shouldn't eat at all right now because inflation is running away.
Yeah.
That's what the list should say, not where to take somebody on a first date. But we love y'all, and we will catch y'all next week. We've been trying to catch y'all on Discord. What's the best way to reach out? Oh, reach me on my email, PFC Wells. It should be in the drop down. I answer that all the time. Hi, dear Bit. We love y'all, but we really do have to go. But I will check the Discord, PFC Wells, but definitely email us because the emails come across the laptop and I answer them right away. That's how the Colonel used to talk to us all the time. We love y'all. Peace out.